All right, welcome to CAPECAST. We are here. We got 4 people here tonight. We got Britt joining us. You guys remember Britt from all of our WandaVision episodes?
Oh yeah.
And Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let's not forget all 5 of them. There were only 5 episodes of that show.
The last one never happened.
Yeah. Alan, how are you doing?
Good, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Doing
Brandon?
well.
I guess he answered it. Doing well.
There we go.
So I guess we are on 3 different streaming to 3 different platforms tonight. There's 3 green check marks, so I assume that's good.
Yeah, I see you over on Twitch, so you're good there.
Nice. YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and then Twitch. We're just trying some new stuff out. Britt's trying to take us to the dark side over there on Twitch, so we'll see how this goes. So tonight we're gonna do our usual weekly show. We talk about kind of all things geek news, geek movie, geek TV show. We've got a bunch of DC stuff on the docket tonight, and then Britt is here to school us in some Loki and Black Widow stuff. So we kind of running the gambit tonight. And as usual, we got to start off with our DC stuff. So,
we got to start off with social tags first.
Oh, okay,
okay, because we do that. That's first.
Yeah, we do. You're missing Twitch now. You're missing you're missing all kinds of stuff. You got to update.
I got to update it. Apparently,
you can follow us on Twitter at CapeCast Show. We also have a weekly show called CiNEMACHiNE that we do on Thursdays, where we talk about kind of general movies, trailers, and then obviously or also review movies as they come out. And I also recommend you follow us on Instagram to keep up to date on all that stuff. That's at CiNEMAChinePod. And then we are also on Patreon, patreon.com/CiNEMAChinePod, and we appreciate any support that we get there. All kinds, man. We got to cut down the social stuff. So many platforms. So many.
I know.
Nice.
So
Twitch already coming
so many
in hot.
activities.
Yeah.
Is this your friend, Britt?
That is my friend from over on the Twitch stream over there. Mackie's a huge fan, so
nice.
They stumbled on you with the Disney fights. They loved Al, even though Al couldn't make it to the finals, they loved Al on there. They loved you guys. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that
we appreciate you having us on. It was fun.
Hopefully I can impress a little bit more on this show than I did on the on Disney fights. Hopefully.
Yeah,
but no promises.
This is more your bread and butter.
Yeah.
So to speak. So last week when Chris was on, I did that special drop for Chris. You remember the one.
I remember.
If you were here, then you remember. I would be remiss if I didn't. I came up with this one for our buddy Alan.
Hey!
Nice.
Now, Britt, I'm gonna have to figure out one for you. Not a lot of people named Britt in movies, but
but you can't get a Lieutenant Dan thing. He is default Dan.
This is true. This is true.
It's true.
So there's
That's
hope.
an option.
There is hope.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
All right. So you want to talk a little Black Adam?
Sure.
Let's do
that.
it. Throw it up there.
All right. Well, this week, I think production wrapped on Black Adam. Actually,
I did. Did you guys watch the video of the raffle they did?
I did not watch the video. They
gave away I don't know if it's something that they were doing certain days of filming, but basically he gave away personally 10 grand. And he just raffled out of a hat. They pulled 3 names and split the cash up, but they did that on the last day of shooting.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the $5, or $7 or whatever it was. They've multiplied the dollar amount every day that they were filming or whatever, to get to a total of
Gotcha.
Well,
yeah,
I guess
so Dwayne Johnson's going to be filmed at a super high speed, 960 frames per second.
Yeah. So this is gonna be this will be interesting. You'll get every little glisten and gleam of his body in super slow-mo that would make Zack Snyder blush.
Yeah.
So
well, it's interesting because I remember Zach talking about, because he's kind of known for the slow mo thing. He has actors, they film at a high rate, not like this, but then he also has actors move in slow motion for those sequences. So in my mind, I was like, I wonder what moving in slow motion plus 960 frames per second would look like.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's pretty crazy. Apparently it's this new like tech. It's called Bolt. And it's some he didn't really go too much in detail. This was an Instagram post that he put out, but he was saying in their final week that they use this cutting edge tech called Bolt that shoots at 960. And for those out there that don't know, normal movies are shot at 24 frames per second. Your TVs typically it depends on what kind of TV you have, but most of them are around 60 to 120 hertz, which kind of is it's for reference, as far as movies are all shown at 24 frames per second. You've had like the Hobbit movies that were shown at 48. And you've had that, what was it? The Will Smith movie that came out not too long ago, where he's got like a clone. Gemini Man. I think it was 120 frames per second. Now that doesn't mean that this is going to be displayed at 960 continuous frames a second. That's just what it was shot at. So they have all that info to do it super slow mo. Just to slow it down. So they just have to
YouTube land with all the slow mo guys and things like that with the phantom cameras.
Yeah.
So that was it. But yes, Black Adam has wrapped, as we mentioned earlier.
I'm excited to check that one out.
So it's doesn't come out this year. What is it? It's 2022.
2023.
Is it 2023?
Yeah.
Let's see. I got it right here. Black Adam 2022, July 29th.
Oh, no. I was thinking Shazam. Sorry. I know one of them's going to be here. So
373 days, 21 hours, 51 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Give or take.
Yeah. All the movies on my Countdown app, if anybody's interested, they're all DC movies. I know that's a shocker. But
Eternals didn't make it.
No, I think next year is going to be an interesting one, though. Like we're seeing some movies starting to release this year, but because so many got kind of pushed back, it'll be interesting to see what next year happens with literally a movie coming out every month. That's huge. So hopefully theaters are back, where they're, people can go now, but like back to where they were and things like that. So, you can catch all the movies. So we'll see.
There's
hopefully so.
One movie
they
that
have a little bit of ways to go, but they're doing better than they have been.
No doubt. One movie that is coming out sooner than 2022 is Suicide Squad, and reaction has been very positive for this, or early reactions have been very positive for this movie.
Poor Idris Elba got to get his head cut off. Sorry.
It's kind of, I don't know. It's a weird feeling, disconcerting, worrisome, but finally we've got some good reactions.
I mean,
what does good reaction mean? Does that mean I'm going to like it? Does that mean I'm going to hate it?
We stole a Marvel director, so it's going to get reviewed well.
We're bombing on Twitch right now.
I'm always Twitter like social media reactions are always they're usually pretty positive.
Yeah.
I remember when Justice League theatrical social media reactions came out, and they were all pretty positive too. Ryan and I we had a sigh of relief that day. We're like, oh, it's going to be good. We all know how that went. So
that's true.
We'll take this with a grain of salt and a shot of penicillin.
Did you guys watch? Did any of y'all watch that featurette they put out?
No, I try to stay away from marketing at this point.
Which one? Which one was it?
Which one? Yeah, which one?
I don't know. It was just
They put out one
last
like
week
today. Today, I think, was another one that came out, and then they had the Harley Quinn one that came out a couple days ago.
Gotcha. I don't know. This one was kind of a I don't know, a mix of a bunch of kid talking about all the different characters that are in the movie. But I don't know, man. I'm excited to. The more I see about I don't know if it's just like I need something DC. I'm like, I don't even care what it is right now. Just I need to see something. I
mean, I'll still say it still looks really good. For me, just the humor is concerning. But other than that, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
I have high hopes for it. I mean, I liked Guardians, when they brought out, James Gunn got the first look at that and kind of got to play and have fun. And I feel like this movie is going to have, fun. Now he is kind of going down that hard R. So we'll see if it feels like, the last Harley Quinn to me just kind of felt like, hey, Deadpool did this. Let's see what we can do with it. So I'm hoping with him going R, we're not going to see that type of stuff again, and make it still fun and funny. But I have high hopes just because I've liked the stuff he's been doing recently. Even though I'm going in with like no expectations, because again, the last Suicide Squad, I know it's not really, they're disconnected, but connected. It was one of those that it suffered from the retakes and the recuts and things like that. And so luckily this time this shouldn't happen. So I have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
We all hope.
Yeah. That. I just don't want to be cringing every 10 minutes because it's some really bad joke. But that's honestly where I sit right now.
So say we all.
Yeah. So Brandon, you got a little.
Hey, guess what, guys?
Tiny Batfleck, tiny Batfleck thing this week.
We got a new Batfleck image from Batman v Superman 2021, and here it is. It's great. It's beautiful. They continue to come out, and we continue to report on them because we'll take any chance that we can get to report on Batfleck and/or Snyder and/or BVS and/or Zack Snyder's Justice League and anything to do like. So, Patrick Tatopoulos released this image. He's the guy that designed the Batmobile. There's not much to say except for yes, this image looks great. I know a lot of people were like, why didn't they release this image instead of the sad Affleck image for that first Batman reveal that created
I love that first image.
I did too, but it fell prey to the memes more than people celebrating the photo. But that's they would have probably found a reason to make a meme out of this one too.
Sure. Before any of you guys say it, that is the best looking Batman that's ever been on in live action. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
That worked really well for that one.
Yep. So say we all. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Britt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. I had my finger on the remove. You're that close. You're so close. Okay.
All right.
You can stay.
Colin Farrell also was quoted in an interview talking about his role in the new Batman movie, and it sounds like he's only in 5 or 6 scenes, which I don't know. I when I initially heard the news he was cast, that was kind of what I was expecting, but then when I saw the trailer, I was expecting more than that. So,
yeah. I don't know.
Chris couldn't make it, but he's commenting.
He's still gonna insult us or try to. We embrace that title, sir. I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of this casting in the Batman is world building, and I didn't expect more than this, honestly. But what do you guys think?
That's I guess my little bit of worry there. Like, and again, I'm hoping they're going to do it right, but I do always get a little bit of a worry because it takes me back to the Sony Spider-Man days of world building and let's put this guy in here for 3 minutes and we'll pay it off next movie, and then next movie doesn't happen. So, that's my only thing there is I feel like they are introducing a lot of iconic characters, and when you get more than 2 villains into a movie, it can get a little crowded feeling, or again just setting up too many threads. And with today's world, people are going to tear down a movie if you leave too many open threads kind of sitting out there. So.
That's true.
Yeah, I think though, Britt, this is DC. They would never set up something and not pay it off. So I don't think we have anything to worry about.
For sure.
I think we're good. Alan, what do you think?
Kind of along the same with Britt there. I think that it makes me a little nervous, but I mean, you have to build something, especially when you're starting from scratch. You got to throw just a few little Easter eggs in there, even if they don't necessarily pay off. You know what I mean? At least you got them in there. Yeah.
I feel like this will be much more substantial than Easter eggs, but yeah, I mean, I think it's they obviously have I say obviously. It seems like they have plans to build out this universe. I mean, they're doing the Gotham PD show on HBO that can explore more things, and so they're laying foundation for not just Batman sequels, but offshoots as well of the Gotham stuff. So,
yeah, and
this isn't excited. I mean, I mean, we were all caught off guard when we saw that was actually Colin Farrell in that prosthetic.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm excited to see. And what were you saying, Britt?
Well, and this isn't in your notes because you kind of mentioned all these offshoots that they're doing. You got the Peacemaker offshoot coming to HBO Max from Suicide Squad from earlier. What are y'all's thoughts, since you guys are the DC guys? What are your thoughts of all these different offshoots coming to HBO, and then they're not really in that same universe, but we're gonna have essentially multiple kind of series?
I'm more at surface level. I'm more interested in the Gotham series connected to the Batman than I am Peacemaker. Obviously, I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, so that could change.
Yeah. And you haven't seen the Batman yet, but
also could change
for Suicide Squad. And John Cena's humor is not something that I'm super excited about. So if the Peacemaker is more the same with that, probably not as interested. Probably check it out just to see what it's about, but but on paper, probably Gotham PD, especially when Terrence Winter was a part of it, but he's no longer doing that. He's no longer show running that, so that's a bummer. But we'll see.
Look, at the end of the day, I like that we're getting content, So the more DC stuff I can check out, the better.
And it doesn't all. I know, Britt. I know you like it all to be connected. You've been spoiled for years and years and years over there. We get it, but it doesn't have to be. You're about to get less of that. But we'll get into that later.
Jeez. Speaking of Batman,
yes,
we got some Michael Keaton Dark Knight Returns.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know this was a thing, but did you guys see any of this?
Yeah.
They dropped a few panels of these and some of the variant covers and such.
Yeah, the Two-Face painted back off.
I think
Billy D.
It'd be interesting to see if they start doing more of this stuff, or at least more aggressive with marketing it. I know the Justice League variant covers did really well. It'd be cool to see them kind of do more of that kind of stuff with art like this. To kind of revitalize that comics a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought this looked awesome.
Oh yeah.
But and it's awesome as well to see Billy D as Two-Face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I am partial to Tommy Lee Jones, I grew up with that movie, so I do love that movie. But
or in your case, beer and pizza.
Face.
We know We know Schwarzenegger is always your Mr. Freeze.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's true. For better or for worse. But and Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman there as well. I mean, come on.
No.
Yeah,
It's hard to
it
beat.
is true. This is true.
Yes.
But that's exciting. Definitely going to
we
have
also
to pick
have-
up those.
Very similar to when Supergirl's suit was revealed, and I kind of lost my mind with excitement for the Flash movie. Brandon kind of had his moment this week.
I did. No, I'm not. I didn't put these photos in the actual doc because
The
of
copyright
legal
strike.
reasons.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk that because these were closed set photos, and I think a lot of people have gotten flagged for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there were some photos that leaked.
There's a
of the set.
massive set piece of the Batcave that looks amazing.
Yeah, we all talked about it on our CAPECAST text thread, and I was very excited. And it's honestly the first thing from The Flash, besides when they announced that Affleck was going to be a part of that, I was like, heck yeah. I mean, the Keaton stuff was cool too, obviously. Yeah. But seeing this, not this, but seeing those photos of the Burton Batcave and the Batmobile, it's made me all warm and fuzzy. So I'm super excited.
Yeah,
so just
you even shared that one in the group text with Al.
I know,
like, see Batman, he'll like it.
Yeah, that's why, because that's the only one he likes, really. So I had to
maybe
try
next time he interviews him, he can talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Sure.
Also had some
really cool.
Batgirl.
One thing that we probably should talk about with those photos were the whole set photos of Ezra talking to a double of him.
Yeah.
So seemingly there's going to be some things at play that because we saw the photos of him with this weird bowl cut haircut and we were like,
you mean the Andy Machete cut?
Yeah, the machete cut.
They could have used that.
But yeah, so that's interesting that they're gonna have
it's kind of hard to
beats Barry.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to resist that temptation in time travel movies. Talking to yourself.
It actually kind of looked like the haircut from the liquor store security cam footage from Batman v Superman as well. It's that shaggy long haircut that he had.
No facial hair.
No facial hair though.
Believe me, we've studied.
It was
this
more Lloyd Christman.
Lloyd
Christman.
Also, if you colorize that scene, you'll notice he's a lot tanner. Just kidding. He didn't actually do that. It was stupid.
So stupid, right?
Yeah. Moving on. We had some Batgirl, reportedly, some Batgirl actress testing this week.
Yeah.
A lot of names mentioned.
Does anybody know any of these people? I don't.
I recognize the faces of two of them.
I know that the actress on the left, besides the Batgirl image, I think she was Dora in the Dora movie, live action Dora movie. But
well, that checks her off my list. I'm done with that one. Let's move on to the next three.
All right, Al.
Sorry.
Alan gets triggered by Dora.
Don't be messing with my child. Don't be messing with my brother's childhood. That was his show. You don't mess with that.
I got you.
Face value, the two that I would gravitate towards would be the middle and far right, and kind of the interpretation would be very different.
With middle, we don't even want to look up their names. Middle, you get it.
Hey, you got a photo up there.
You should put some letters. You should put letters over their heads, like A and C. That's who we're talking about.
This is like a lineup for like a crime.
Yeah.
Number 3.
All right, rotate.
I mean, they all seem like they could fit the bill.
I'm just partial towards that.
We'll see.
Barbara Gordon, and I know I said it about Supergirl with the blonde hair, but she's got to be the redhead. Look,
it's like MJ without red hair. It's like you're trying to do that over your camp over there, Britt.
Yeah. It's not the real MJ. It's a different.
You can't just say MJ and then she's not even Mary Jane. It's like, come on, guys.
I'm fairly confident Kristen Dunst is going to come back and take over the normal role again, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Or Shailene Woodley will finally get her shot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You got some names over in the chat there from Mackie.
There we go.
If you want some names, we got some names.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for doing our jobs for us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the board.
I still like the way we had it though. Number 3, step right up.
Yeah. At this point, you can't get too attached because 4 of them are going home. 3 of them are going home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well said.
Yeah. We had Jason Momoa tease a bit of a different look for Aquaman 2. Yeah.
So yeah, he was on Instagram saying that he was about to start production and said he was going blonde. But I think that he just means he's going to this look, like he's going to have like a blonde highlighted.
Throwing some highlights in that thing.
Yeah,
I want to see him go hook arm.
Take that sun in.
Hook arm.
There you go.
Yeah. He might. You never know. Could be in store.
I'm not kidding. I would love that. It'd be awesome.
That'll be right at the end. Right at the end of the movie. It'll leave you on that.
For Aquaman 3.
Yeah.
He comes walking out of the waterfall with a blonde crew cut, and
they're just going to do the exact same shot of him jumping up into the air, but he's got a hook arm this time.
riding on a sea otter, and there you go.
Yeah. Not a lot to say. I feel like people are blowing that out of proportion, taking his words and making it seem like he's going to go full blonde Aquaman. I don't see that.
Momoa's not one to have a filter, so he probably just put something up.
Yeah. I don't know. I expected if it is blonde, it's probably just more like a dirty blonde type look where you can see it a little bit in the camera, but not really.
You kind of already had that going.
Yeah. Based on the picture you just had up, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, but he's like brown, completely like brown hair right now. So that's I just think he's going back to that, that, like you're saying, the highlighted type mixture.
As long as we can get as long as we can get Amber Heard's wig back in this one, I'm down.
Yeah. That's I
want to be blinded by that hair.
Who cares about Momoa's hair?
I just want the wig. After Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, seeing how great she looked in that, I was like, my goodness, saturation 120% in Aquaman.
Yeah, she got that wig at Party City. It's pretty terrible.
So I was gonna say it looked like the same one Mandy wore when we went to Comic-Con.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's accurate. I like the authenticity of that choice. So well done, Mandy.
Yep. All right, Britt, we're gonna shift gears a little bit.
This is your time, Britt.
Oh man, your hot zone here. And to kick it off, Marvel. Let's talk about that awesome Emmy nomination for Don Cheadle.
Yeah, he didn't even know why he was getting it for his 10 seconds in the whole show.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
You got anything to say about this? Like
No, not on. I mean, maybe it's just because nothing came out this year. They're they don't know what to pick. I don't know. I thought it was a little weird. He even said it was a little weird too to be nominated. They should save it. They should save it for Armor Wars in a couple years. Then he'll have a bigger role. But yeah, at this point, wasn't needed. But we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we know what he's up against right now with the other nominations?
I don't know, but maybe they were on screen for more than 30 seconds.
Maybe. What was his nomination? I don't.
I think it's his
Sporting role.
speech. Yeah.
Oh.
So I think it's the little speech he gives when
Yeah, that was the face we made too, Alan.
Well, I saw the little snippets on Instagram and Twitter, and I was like, I didn't even like. Did I miss an episode? I was like,
if you went to go get a glass of water, you missed.
Yeah,
you missed him.
It's like driving through. It's like driving through Royston. You blink and you miss it. There you go.
Yeah, it's practically first episode, 2 minutes in the museum. Him giving a little speech of, when Sam gives the shield back. I got you. Yeah,
I just thought there might have been something else that I missed somewhere. That's all.
Man. Nope. I'm surprised it wasn't like, and maybe just somebody didn't realize it was supposed to be Anthony Mackie. They're like, oh yeah, it's Don Cheadle, and they've already said, like, I don't know if you've seen the interviews, but Anthony Mackie says he gets, everybody walks up and thinks he's Don Cheadle all the time. So maybe just somebody wrote that in there, and then they didn't realize
that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Outstanding.
He was in there for 5 minutes. Like, wait, no, it was a whole series. And like, no, he was only in episode 1.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna run with this. Yeah,
I love it. So outstanding guest actor in a drama series. Could you imagine being the guy that like is trying to argue his nomination, but he was only in there for like 2 minutes, and then he's
did
like, "Did you see that 2 minutes?"
Yeah.
It's like, look, Alec Baldwin's Glenn Ross Academy Award when he was like only in that movie for like 4 minutes or something. And he won, but that maybe this is
they're so political these days, anyways.
I know.
Got a regular in the house.
But yeah, it was great to see that he was just as confused as everyone else. So
now I hope he wins it just because he made fun of it.
Yeah. I want him to get the award and go, I guess thank you for this.
Just snatch it up off the podium and say suckers and run away. That's it.
I remember when The Martian won for like best comedy or whatever, or Damon won for best comedy comedic actor or whatever it was, the Emmys, because that's what it was. Not that's the category it was in, and his acceptance speech was like, comedy, really? Like, okay,
I wasn't trying to be funny.
Like comedy or musical.
Yeah. He's so based on what Mackie's saying, he's not going to win. I mean, I would say Carl Weathers probably wins that.
Absolutely.
But
I can't believe Timothy Olyphant's in there either.
Well, I think he'd probably deserve it more.
Once again, doing our job for us.
Hey, actually, Mackie, you want to do our show notes every week? That'd be great.
Just throw them in the link.
This is the benefit of having Twitch. You got Mackie over here helping you out.
Love it.
Nice.
Go watch
nice.
over there.
So we're getting to season 2 of Loki, and I want to know specifically, Britt, what are your thoughts on this?
No, I like it. I'm interested and intrigued to see what season 2 is going to look like. And again, kind of going into spoiler world for everybody that's hanging out and watching. We're going to be talking about Loki, the whole series. I know you guys have kind of done each episode a little bit here and there on the other.
Spoilers!
So, no, you're good. You're good. So with that, I'm interested. The thing that I'm curious about is when it's going to come out and when it's going to take place, because we have a lot of movies that are on the horizon that's going to kind of dive into this. So we saw kind of the end credit scene where Loki's walking out and seeing, the other statue of Kang. So that's kind of the whole thing of, I really want to see if it's going to pick up there, if we're going to see some more of this story play out in Doctor Strange, because there's, talks right now that Loki's going to show up in Doctor Strange 2 as well. So I don't know. It'll be real interesting to see where he picks out, but I like it. I want to see where this whole story goes with Loki and Sylvie.
That's nice. Alan? Yeah.
That was
thoughts on Loki season 2. I'm excited. By far the best Marvel show that's came out so far on Disney Plus.
Definitely agree.
So yeah, definitely hands down. Looking forward to that one.
And we're about to talk about this show a lot. So hang around after we get through the news, and we will kind of dive into this thing.
I was listening to comicbook.com's podcast today, and they mentioned that there was a rumor going around that they've already possibly shot season 2 of Loki. Have you guys heard or seen anything out there about that?
So I haven't necessarily seen that, but I did see that there's at least 5 or 6 scenes that they've shot that we've even seen in some of these clips that never made it into the show. So there's potential they actually shot a ton of stuff, and maybe some of that season 2. But I
think Frog will make the cut this time.
Yeah, maybe. We kind of saw him. I mean, there was a frog in the jar, but yeah, I don't know. Like
not compared to what that scene was described as. I would have been all for that.
Yeah. So
indeed. Well, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Also of note, Kate Herron is not returning to direct season 2. So yeah, I don't know if any of y'all have specific thoughts about that or not.
I mean, it's considering how much I enjoyed this first season, it's a bummer because it was good.
Yeah.
So hopefully whoever steps in as showrunner will be, of a similar ilk. Yeah. Maybe even better. We'll see. But yeah. It's unfortunate because I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
And she directed and kind of show ran it as well. I'm not sure how many episodes she directed, but
yeah. I think some of it may also just come down to the feel and everything of the show. Like I think what she did with this one was great, and it really felt like a cohesive show. Whereas we've seen other types of shows. I mean, I know WandaVision did it on purpose, but we've seen other shows where it just felt like episodes were disconnected. Even the Mandalorian feels like that at times because we know there's multiple directors. But it felt really cohesive. I like that. So yeah, I'm kind of with Brandon. Like I'm bummed, but it will be interesting to see like what do they want to do with season 2, and does it make sense with a different director for season 2 based on where they're at. So
sure.
Indeed.
Also, kind of bouncing around the now multiverse. We're getting more and more toy imagery leaks, or not leaks, but releases.
And apparently, as of about 15 minutes ago, you sent that tweet from the cinema, cinema, just started making their own
posters. So good.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. I'm waiting because they're all digital signs on a lot of like the front of theaters now, or they're going to the digital signs. I'm waiting for like people to hack into that and then start creating their own posters and just putting stuff up. And the theater's like, I can't get rid of it. I don't like, this is not the real movie.
Yeah. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but I cannot remember the last time like there's been this kind of buzz, like waiting for a trailer to drop.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's like a relentless thing.
So I feel bad for Sony if they didn't, which again, we're all like 99% sure we're going to see all the Spider-Man at some point. But
what if we see no other Spider-Man?
It's really bad if we don't, because Sony's gonna, they're gonna, everybody's gonna come out with the pitchforks if they don't show up, or they're like the last 2 seconds of the movie, like after credit scene. People are gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Britt, since we haven't talked to you since these like all this merch kind of spoiled this version of this the Tom Holland Spider-Man, what's your thoughts on?
So the original stuff that was coming out was like the Lego sets, which at that point I'm like, I'm gonna ignore it, right? Because there's Lego sets that come out
vinyl. They're pop vinyl.
I'm saying like the first ones that were coming out were like Lego based, and so when I saw those, I was like, it's fine. Like they did that with all the different Marvel movies, and they just ended up not being real, just extra stuff. But then when the pops came out, I was like, okay, so they're more, they should be real. Again, there could be some little weird nuances because pops do have a lot of like the Venomized line and some stuff like that. Sure. But these do look like they're from the movie and everything. And I'm not feeling it right now, but I'm wondering how it's going to look in the movie. So like, I'm okay with a black suit Spider-Man, but like the whole like blue crest magic, whatever, like Tony Stark emblem on the chest. And this may be more of a Doctor Strange magic kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not feeling it, but maybe in the movie it comes across differently. So
I'm so ready for classic New York Spider-Man I can't even tell you. Like, that's all I want. I do not want to see any more suit changes. I just, like,
yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, I think I mentioned this on a previous show, but I feel like the only reason they're doing this is so that if they are having 2 other Spider-Men in this movie, so you can actually see the difference between, instead of having all red and bluish.
This looks
Spider-Man
like
everywhere.
We got some pretty functional stuff attached to it, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the idea behind the colorway change in terms of having it actually black and gold. There's obviously like magic stuff
like this one,
but
and it'll also be interesting. I mean, they haven't really spoiled. Are these Tom Holland suits? Or are these the other Spider-Man suits? We don't really know. It could be a different Spider-Man, even from a different universe. I doubt it, but could be. So it'll be kind of interesting to see that.
I think this one comes with a Tom Holland head sculpt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is.
You may not be in on that Hot Toys thing, but
I saw the article. I scrolled quickly. But the other thing that was cool that I saw in an article was saying that some of the spoiler images that were coming out, some of the promo images for those, I think it was for those toys. One of the scenes in the back, it's kind of blurred, but it looks like the scene from Amazing Spider-Man with Electro. And then there's another one of him swinging, and they're saying that the background of that is very reminiscent to Tobey Maguire's swinging with kind of the sunset of the towers behind him and stuff. So I thought that's cool if it is, but again, we all could just be super reading into more that may not be there. So,
and we'll give you some more speculation right here on this show.
I mean, it's really all we have at this point.
Makes it fun.
You gotta have something, But I agree with Ryan. I want to get back to that old school New York Spider-Man, but I don't know that I'm crazy about the black and gold or the I'm assuming it's connected to Doctor Strange, the magic coming off of his chest, and I am intrigued to know how they make that happen. Like how does he obtain that power? So that could be pretty cool, I guess, if they do it right. So
the thing I think I don't like about the black as much is I feel like even with the last Spider-Man where he had kind of the spider monkey or whatever suit, like I think it's just like them trying too hard to be the Venom Spider-Man. Like I don't know. It's almost like they're calling back to that and wanting people to associate it with this, even though it's not. But I don't know.
It just felt like the black thing was done in the last movie, so I was just kind of surprised that they went that route again. I know it's not like the premier suit in Far From Home,
but I agree with Ryan. It has like a Wakandan feel to it.
That's a Brandon call. Yeah, it does for sure.
But it could. I mean, who knows? It could be like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Somebody could just walk up and mash a button and his suit fall off. I mean, maybe that's the whole reason they're doing it.
We got another favorite called in.
Yeah. All right. Last thing on the docket for Marvel here, news-wise. The Blade reboot got its director. Bassam Tariq. Are you guys familiar with anything he's done?
So he did this movie called Mogul Mowgli that's coming out or has already. I don't know. No, we're not.
Okay.
But cool. Glad they have a director. I hope they make it rated R.
That's all I care about. Is this going to be rated R?
That is a requirement.
Yeah.
So I like the casting of Mahershala Ali. I just
Snipes is coming back, multiverse.
That'd be cool to have him in a supporting role or something, like maybe he plays Whistler or something. I don't know, but maybe distracting if they did that.
I would just be wanting him to be Blade the whole movie.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting where they go with it, because like Blade, I mean, you have this whole like group where you have like Moon Knight, Blade, Ghost Rider, all kind of working together and stuff. And the fact that we're going into this multiverse, we're going into like WandaVision, coming from WandaVision into the Darkhold and things like that. And again, Darkhold very much connected to vampires, werewolves, all that good stuff. So, it could be that, with Moon Knight having a series on Disney Plus and things like that, we may get this darker set of the universe. And they started it a little bit with Hailstrom over on Hulu, and with that Star program for Disney Plus, it is coming to Disney Plus from Hulu. So we may start to see that, especially with Blade being so far out anyway, to kind of come to fruition. But I don't know. I'm excited about it because it's a whole different part of Marvel. And kind of to Brandon's point earlier, like, I love things to be connected, but I also like things to kind of stand apart, which is the reason why I liked Guardians and a few of those movies where it was kind of like, we're going to start over here and they'll touch later, but like, we're just going to start in our bubbles. And I'm hoping Blade kind of does that. Like, go do your thing, and then you can tie in where you want to, but you stay over there.
Yeah. That's honestly what I've kind of wanted Marvel to do for a while now, because I find myself, and I think we've talked about this before, but I just find myself waiting for the setup for the next thing. Like, all right, what's the button? What's the end credits thing going to be? Let's get to that so that I can be in the conversation and know what's going on, that kind of thing. So I want to be more invested in these standalone stories than just like, all right, where we're going next.
Yeah, I agree,
because they kind of trained you to do that.
Yeah, which we can talk about that in a little bit with Black Widow kind of being somewhat of a standalone movie, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, well, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
I can make wisecracks the whole time while you talk about
it.
Yep. All right, shifting gears a little bit. Talk a little Star Wars real quick.
Wait. So when are we talking about Loki? Is this later?
Well,
the actual series and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Brent.
I'm making sure. I gotta look over our show notes.
It's sweetie. It's okay.
I don't want you skipping over me here.
All right.
Wait. He was so worried.
Like, you can't skip what I'm here to talk about. Come on, man.
This is why I'm here. So who wants to see more about Luke Skywalker making Luke Skywalker look pretty, fake on The Mandalorian?
I do.
I kind of do. I mean, it's still interesting, even though the execution of the face wasn't great. The rest of it was cool.
That's all I can think about.
Really
Don't get me wrong. I love that scene. I loved everything about it up until he pulled that hood off, and I was like, no! The whole time I was like,
true.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is when they've already done one of these Disney Gallery Mandalorian things like they did for the first season, and they briefly touched upon this. I was expecting them to go much more in depth than they did, but it seems like this is what they're all right. You guys wanted to see that, and we didn't deliver on it, so we're gonna put this one out so you can kind of see how that was achieved. Right. And maybe they'll actually show Mark Hamill in that scene. maybe they won't, because I don't know. We'll see. But
you don't want to see too much behind the curtain.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I just I'll never understand that choice. Like I know they're like, oh, we got to get the OG actor, but like, come on, it's like it's the whole Irishman getting Robert De Niro to act like he's 20 when he's 60 plus years old or however old he is, trying to curbstone people, and he looks like
a 30-year-old face, but he's like got like the hump on his back when he's walking around.
Yeah, and it's not like the scene required Hamill to do anything physical but like if you're changing his face, let him do the VO. That's fine if he wants to do the VO, but like just when you have corridor crew executing it better than Lucasfilm did, and
not like
and even
like
deep fakers, just like
it's like one day after the episode too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, like so when the Mandalorian put that whole like behind the series for season 1, I really enjoyed it. Like all the different episodes and stuff. I was a little let down with season 2, where it's just kind of like, boom, here's your one episode. It's got some stuff in it, right? Like it wasn't all the stuff that they did for one. And I get that they weren't just going to revisit the same stuff over, but yeah, I'm curious in this one that's coming up, like how detailed they're going to get into it. Are they going to talk more about the actual technology because again, they're using this over in the Marvel movies and things like that. And I expect Disney to use it in multiple places to kind of de-age people. But yeah, I want to know more about that. Maybe less about just specifically Mark Hamill in it, but I don't know, kind of like they did with the whole dome, right? They kind of really explained how they used the dome, not just how it was used in Mandalorian. So
true.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of little quick hits here. It's a new Star Trek movie coming from WandaVision director Matt Shakman. Are either of y'all? I know Brandon. The answer is Brandon, but are y'all Trekkies or Star Wars folks?
Now, what do you think? I'm a Trekkie?
No.
Okay.
No. I've watched.
How's it going, Brandon? How's it going?
I've watched most of Star Trek. I haven't seen all of the William Shatner stuff. I've seen some. I've seen a lot of the movies that were in like 90s, early 2000s. I saw all the, Chris Pine stuff. I don't watch a lot of the break-off TV shows as much, but I watch them, but I'm not like a huge, I know everything about it type fan. So
sure.
Now, I am a fan of this Kelvin timeline. I'll say that. Like, that's what this is called, the Kelvin timeline. Like, I didn't really watch Star Trek anything before JJ rebooted it. And I know that's probably a lot of Trekkies, so to speak, aren't as big of a fan of this because he kind of Star Trek. But that's why I like it.
Oh no, Brandon is not a Trekkie.
Yeah, I think I've said it before with you guys that my dad was a Trekkie, so I kind of was a Trekkie, second generation. So I grew up watching the Shatner series, the movies, and Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all those other ones. Yeah, if my dad watched it, I watched it probably. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah. What are you excited about? WandaVision showrunner taking over for the fourth entry to this Kelvin franchise. Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Because there were aspects of WandaVision that I really did enjoy. It just there were some parts that fell flat, but I don't know. I've enjoyed Chris Pine and the others. So yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting. I know that they were trying like this fourth entry has been kind of kicked down the road for a while now, and I know that the last iteration of the movie, I think that's Simon Pegg, maybe scripted, I can't remember, but it was pretty heavily like Kirk and his father, which would be Chris Hemsworth, somehow having some sort of story together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to answer that question, it seems like by the trades that it's going to be this same cast. Obviously, the what's his name?
Thanks,
what's
Dan.
up, Britt? You text? What are you doing?
Brandon's not familiar. We've got a lot. We're
hit that follow.
broadcasting on 3 channels right now. All right, Brandon.
You
I don't understand how
multitasking?
this whole thing works.
But yeah, obviously Anton Yelchin won't return, unfortunately. It'll be interesting how they write that character and integrate him or don't.
I guess I honestly hadn't thought about that. Yeah. How they would do that.
But no, I'm excited because that is a great cast. That cast is top to bottom. Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to compare it to from the original Star Trek, but I just it's great in my opinion for a newbie entering Star Trek. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that comes to mind when you think of the WandaVision showrunner is you think about like all the old episodes or old style episodes. And I don't think they'll do this, but I hope it doesn't feel like where they just try to go, okay, let's please the fans and like make it feel like the old William Shatner, like Star Trek, as we continue down into it. Because they do have a great feel that they've done in these newer movies to bring in the newer crowds.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what will happen, but I think when it comes to my mind of WandaVision, that's what I think about is those first 3 episodes of how they were really stylized. So
yeah. No, I mean, as far as directorial efforts, I thought it was, that show was well done on a technical level. And again, a lot of the problems that I think we all had were, a lot of misdirection and getting our hopes up and thinking they were going one way when they didn't, and a lot of story beat type stuff.
Yeah. Also, probably a
technically,
of Marvel versus, instead of the director. I'm sure they had. I'm sure they have very strict directions you can go with things. With
So, though, in an Elseworlds type setting, I would have loved to have seen what Quentin Tarantino was pitching for that Star Trek movie that he supposedly was kind of contemplating, but sadly, probably will never see the light of day.
Indeed. Last kind of bit of news here. HBO is pulling out the checkbook for this Last of Us series. And Brandon, I'm sure you're very happy about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's reported to be like the most expensive project for Canada, which is where it's filming so far.
They don't spend much money out there anyway.
I mean, this gives me, because you think of a post-apocalyptic show, like Walking Dead comes to mind. You film it in Georgia because we're slobs over here. We don't take care of our stuff. And so it's pretty cheap to do that. But I think how much, as far as this story, there's a lot of room for like really cool settings as far as like overgrown vegetation, tons of like the virus itself has tons of like, it reminds me a lot of Annihilation, how that like changed things in the world that whatever the thing was that was doing that. Remember that scene in Annihilation when they find the soldiers that are like mutated on the wall, and they found that video and they're like, it's Oscar Isaac.
Man, I need to rewatch that.
Kind of look and feel where, that's what I think of as far as production. But a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's good that they're investing in it because this is a great story, and I hope that they do it justice.
I hope they do it justice for you, Brandon.
Me too. Here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Brett, I assume you haven't played Last of Us. I know that you're like an Xbox, Nintendo guy. So
yeah. No, I haven't, and I'm curious if the reason, again, Game of Thrones did great with the money and stuff, but I'm wondering if Witcher played a part in the fact that it did so well with Netflix and the amount of money they're throwing into that. I'm wondering if that kind of opened those checkbooks a little bit more to say, hey, this video game thing worked, considering in the past video game things have not gone so well. So
yeah, maybe so.
I'll go in with a blank slate. I'll watch it. We'll see.
You should. Everybody should.
Look, man, I'll watch it. I can't promise that I'm going to play it. I own it. I can't promise I'm going to play it.
Yeah, but you should. Worth your time. I promise.
At this point, I don't want to spoil the show.
Yeah,
that's stick with that story. There you go.
That's an excuse. It's an excuse.
So, Alan, got another Titans trailer.
I know.
Sweet. Thoughts?
Well, I loved it. No, it was no way. I am really excited for season 3. I actually didn't actually watch any of it until season 2 was completed. Like I binged 2 seasons just nonstop until I finished it all. So, like I said, you got the quality is not going to be what you'd expect from, a feature film, but it's I'm pretty excited. Pretty
I'll
excited.
say,
are we talking like Gotham quality? I haven't seen the other seasons. It's one of those that's on the list of many things to watch.
Yes,
and I've heard just
quality.
Okay, yeah.
In my opinion, it's better than Gotham quality.
To me, this trailer seems better than Gotham quality.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first 2 seasons didn't do much for me as far as what I saw, like trailer wise. This trailer, I thought it looked pretty good, considering the other DC TV shows that I've seen, not including Watchmen, because Watchmen was on a different level.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked pretty good personally.
And that's why I think season 3 will end up being better, because they do have that, AT&T, HBO Max.
It's true.
Money
Yeah, the HBO budget.
So
yeah, because DC Universe, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. That was a bad idea.
That was like a step above, dirty movies.
I'm just bummed that Swamp Thing didn't get more life out of it. That show was awesome. I don't know. Britt, did you ever watch Swamp Thing?
I haven't, but I heard it was really, really good, and it shouldn't have been canceled.
Yeah,
but I did watch Doom Patrol, or at least watched probably
weird
3/4 of it. Yeah, it's weird.
Love it.
It was.
I love it.
It was cool. I enjoyed it. So
the production value is the only thing that
Yes.
really got me on that.
Brendan Fraser was hands down the best part of that whole freaking show, man.
No
I love
doubt.
that guy.
No doubt. He's always the best part of everything.
He really is. He really is.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Britt, it's your moment.
Here we
It's
go.
your moment.
Awesome. All right, so we're starting with Loki. Starting with Loki. So if you want to throw that spoilers back up, you can.
All right, hold on 1 second.
All right. All right. So Loki, whole season, you guys have kind of been doing some breakdowns of some of the things through the different episodes so far. But overall, I'm curious from you guys, like, what did you think overall about Loki? Is it, I know, Alan, you already said this, but is it your favorite series out of the 3 so far on Disney Plus? So Ryan, what do you think?
Alan again?
All right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right. So for me, this show, Brandon, get the drop ready. For the first 3 episodes of this show, this is how I felt.
I don't know. Oh,
No, and I don't care.
is that it?
That is it. That's the one. Yes,
Okay.
that is the one. And that's exactly how I felt. I just did not care. Like, it wasn't bad. I just didn't care at all. And then
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
that's how I am internally. I don't let that part of me out.
Yeah.
And then the 4th episode hit, and holy moly, it shows great. I almost feel like I've talked about it before. I almost feel like these shows for me would be better as like 2-part movies or something. Just trimming out some of the, like, there's a bottle episode in there where I was like, oh god, like this might be the last one for me. But at 4th episode hit, and from then on, man, the show's great. I loved it.
Yeah. How about you, Brandon? What'd you think?
I mean, I was on board from the beginning. It never really dipped. It kind of continued to get better for me. I mean, it's hands down, in my opinion, the best Marvel TV show. And just as far as Marvel stories in general, it's the one that I've been more invested in, even from the movie side. Like, I had no interest in Black Widow. You'll get into that later. You will. And I watched, I felt like after Endgame, I was like, well, it's about as good as you're going to be able to do it, because I don't know what else you do.
Infinity War,
and Spider-Man Far From Home, I watched once. I thought it was good, but for whatever reason, I haven't been compelled to return to it. I don't know what that is. But
Yeah.
and then the TV stuff, like got into WandaVision at first, got let down, never really got on board with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
On the Spider-Man
Hence-
thing, before I forget, that is interesting. It's the same for me. I'm wondering if, because I really liked the movie, I really enjoyed it, and I have a statue to prove how much I enjoyed it. That's a lot of money behind me. But
yeah, I hope so.
But I'm wondering if I haven't revisited because kind of like the content died at that point. Like it was almost like that movie came a little early, and now we're finally like getting into the multiverse thing, and like, so I'm wondering if it'll have a little bit of a second life for me personally.
Well, it also came after a big crescendo, so it was like an epilogue to Endgame, and people were. I mean, I just, for me personally, I was just like, whew, like just kind of exhausted and didn't really like needed a break. By the time, and I didn't. This is crazy. I didn't even see it in theaters, and this is SpiderMan, like my favorite Marvel character, and I just, I wasn't motivated to get out and go see it. So I don't know. But anyway, as far as this show, I loved it. I thought it was great. I love Tom Hiddleston, and I really liked Sylvie as a new character, all the different Lokis, and Owen Wilson was great. I thought that this finale was really well done, even though it got very exposition heavy and talky. I still thought that it was. I thought, what is it, Jonathan Majors? Is that the guy that played Kang? I thought he was great, super eccentric, and really enjoyed. My favorite
part about the episode was the exposition. Like I was like,
sure,
this is great.
Yeah.
That
was the majority of the episode. Two thumbs up.
And we'll kind of dive into the different areas, but like, I think overall the thing that I liked about this one was WandaVision hurt from the fact of all of us nerds trying to figure out like, where's it going? Could it be this person? Could it be that person? I know we did that a lot on the podcast with Mephisto and different avenues there that never really paid off, right? Ralph Boner and whatnot. So, definitely had a lot of stuff that didn't get paid off. So I think that kind of hurt. Falcon Winter Soldier, I know, again, you guys were pretty, I wouldn't say negative, but you didn't really enjoy that one as much either. And, I think with that one, it was too obvious where they were going.
It was negative. They were negative. It wasn't.
I'll say negative. I was very negative on that show, as you were.
So, and with that one, I think it came down to, like with WandaVision, we tried to guess and just kept missing. With Falcon Winter Soldier, it was just too obvious where they were going. There really wasn't any twist or turns. There may have been like one little thing here or there, but for the most part, we knew where it was going. It ended where we thought it would end. And didn't surprise us. And I think that what was cool here in this one was you didn't know where it was going. There was really no way of guessing where it was going. There was these like nodes to maybe Kang was going there, but we already knew from WandaVision, like, don't guess, like, don't get your mind there. And so I did like the fact when they paid it off with Kang, it was like, oh my gosh, they did it. Like they went there when everybody said they weren't, because there was this whole thing of, Kang's making his first appearance when he gets to Ant-Man. So don't expect him here. And theoretically, it's still probably true because this is a different variant of Kang. So we'll get one of the other variants in Ant-Man. So, but so I enjoyed it a lot because of that, because I couldn't predict it. I just went in enjoying it. And kind of where you were saying, Ryan, like you wish it was kind of like a movie, a 2-part movie or something like that, rather than, multiple episodes. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm torn with it because after watching them, like I want to see the next thing. Like if you gave me another episode, I'd be great with it. But I could see that there was a lot of trying to explain. Like I feel like this is the movie they're having to like really explain the multiverse. Like they've hinted at it a couple different times with Infinity War and things like that. But like this is the one they're like, look, guys, Spider-Man's going to do this, Doctor Strange is going to do this, and we have to explain it before we get there. So they had a few episodes where we really got into that. So Alan, from your side, like what did you think as far as a lot of that expose, as far as the whole multiverse aspect and the explaining, like too much, too little?
Hey.
Oh no, I loved it. I thought it was perfect. I said last week when we were kind of speculating on who was going to be the person behind the curtain, I said then, I was like, it's got to be Kang. Like, I mean, it had to be. You know, like there was nobody else it could be. If we got Mephisto, then I thought it would just piss people off at that point. You know.
Yeah.
But so I loved it. I loved the different take. You know, the variant take on it. And just that variant version, his, I guess, overseer version of Kang, you know, that was maintaining the timeline to keep the others at bay. I thought all of that was just really well written. Like I said, it was, with the exception of what, as Ryan said, the bottle episode, the train episode, with the exception of that, this whole series I loved it. I mean, there wasn't anything, and you know, that's just nitpicking on the train episode. But no, as far as Kang goes, it was
the train episode.
Perfect delivery.
It was like 5 hours.
It really was. I was like, are we still here? You know?
So you don't have to look at it anymore.
It was pretty rough. I mean, it was definitely, they were trying to explain the fact that like she didn't do anything wrong, right? Like because you were kind of led to believe that they were pruning things that weren't supposed to happen. Somebody goes and kills someone or does something they weren't supposed to. But I think it was kind of the setup that you get in episode 6 of like, no, you did you did nothing wrong, and this is just Kang was cutting off all those different timelines to make sure that his one timeline was there. And it was said there in the chat, but and this is, if Chris was here, I'm sure he could explain it too, but for anybody who doesn't know,
Chris!
I'll pick you up at noon.
Chris!
Awesome, I'm busy!
I'm busy, stupid dick!
Oh, it worked really well. So Brandon's had his mouse and his cursor on that all night.
Waiting for an opportunity.
just hovering. There we go.
And so with that, like kind of
like Britt's like, yeah, it's fun, guys. Let's focus. Okay.
But yeah, so we got the whole like backstory. I know again, Chris knows about the comics too. But you know, when it comes to this, like Kang also has like the whole variant issue. If you've seen Rick and Morty, they have the Council of Ricks, like that came from the Council of Kangs in the comics and things like that. So there's this whole process where there's always been variants of Kang. And this particular one they're saying is most likely Immortus, which is kind of the overarching Kang that wants to keep all the timelines in sync, and he's the good Kang. Essentially, he's still going to do evil things, but he's going to do it for a better purpose, like he explained in the episode. So we definitely got some other Kangs that are potentially going to be more villainous. There's a Kang, for anybody that doesn't know, for a future setup. We're already setting up these kind of young Avengers. So we have another Kang variant with Iron Lad. And so again, if you guys remember in the whole Tony Stark funeral scene, we got the kid from Iron Man 3 that kind of showed up out of nowhere. There's always been talks that he may end up being Iron Lad at some point. And Iron Lad turns into a version of Kang in one of the multiverses. So yeah, we could see those different variants in each of the movies, kind of leading up to the final version, maybe being in the Fantastic Four movie. He's a very big villain to the Fantastic Four, and supposedly one of these variants is actually a descendant from Reed Richards. So so it's gonna be cool.
I was very much hoping that the big bad was going to be Doctor Doom, but I'm so intrigued by this Kang concept. Like I feel like this is a way that they could very easily kind of usurp the Thanos as the king bad of Marvel when you're talking with all these multiple timelines and variants and whatnot. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, so it's cool. And in the chat, they were talking about like Ironheart. They do have an Ironheart series they're going to be doing. So again, it may be the Iron Lad becomes more of the movie Iron Man replacement. I know they've kind of they were trying to groom SpiderMan to fill that role, but now with the Sony stuff kind of doing what it's doing, we may see less of Spider-Man in the future. We don't really know at this point. So it could be that we're going to have kind of two different versions in that sense. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it and where they want to go with it. To your point, Ryan, like I think Doctor Doom will still show up at some point. We may get him in the Fantastic Four. There's rumors that he may show up in Wakanda forever. Since I would take this with a grain of salt, but people are saying the text font that they're using looks like Doctor Doom in the metal pieces and stuff. But I don't know.
Hey, I loved. Is it Ultimate Alliance too that he's kind of the big bad? I just love that game. I've been in love with that character ever since I played that game.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like he could fill that role that like Loki had. Essentially, Loki was a big bad in a sense, but he wasn't ever really the Thanos, right? So you get Kang as kind of your Thanos. There's potential we could get, more of Doctor Doom. We're going to see Namor, or supposedly we're going to see Namor, which is the Aquaman copy in the Marvel universe. So, there's a lot of characters they can introduce throughout with Kang kind of setting up and pulling the strings throughout all of this. But yeah, I loved the setup at the end. I loved the surprise of seeing Kang there and it actually being Kang. And
the statue was cool.
Variant.
Yeah. The statue reveal.
Yeah. So, we got the whole thing, and I want to kind of throw it around the room real quick. So we got the whole thing of the reveal of Kang, and then Sylvie making that decision to stab Kang, kill Kang, and the multiverse started splitting. So, we'll start with you, Brandon. When it comes to multiverse, I know you're a big Spider-Man guy. I mean, what are you expecting, or what do you want to see in the MCU multiverse? Like coming from here, going into, we have Eternals, but like Spider-Man and things like that. Like, do you want this to touch every movie? Do you want it to be specific movies? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think on paper, as far as what we have kind of gleaned from what we think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be, bringing in these OG characters with Maguire and Garfield and the old Doc Ock and possibly Defoe's Green Goblin, Electro, that kind of thing. Like all that sounds, again, on paper, it sounds amazing as long as they can execute it, the right way. And if Into the Spider-Verse is any indication, I think that it's possible because I love that movie and it's very similar. So yeah, on that level, and then I mean, but that's on the Sony side. So as far as the Disney Marvel side, seems like with the Multiverse of Madness, I wonder. I don't know. I don't know which way they're going to go on that side. I mean, I wonder. Part of me wonders, okay, are they going to loop in as far as like the multiverse? If you're comparing apples to apples, like what DC's doing over there with the Flash, like will they do things with like Fox characters like we thought they were doing in WandaVision that they didn't do? We talked a few weeks ago about the Hugh Jackman. That little Instagram post, which probably didn't mean anything, but it got us excited.
Do it.
Things like that. I wonder, I mean, but all that kind of stuff is like more like, these are possibilities, I guess, the things that they could cherry pick and bring in to the MCU. But me personally, as far as this is concerned, I hope it just allows them to tell more contained stories instead of, and I know I don't feel like they're going to do this. I feel like they're still going to be kind of very regiment as far as like building to some big crescendo event type movie, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But on paper, I'm kind of like, you did that, you did it great. I just don't feel like they'll be able to top it. So maybe now it's time to just focus on like more, contained stories. But I don't think they'll have that. I don't think they'll be able to do that. They're in this mode of setting things up.
Can't resist it.
Yeah. So Alan, from your side, so I know again you expected to see Kang as we're going through that, but like as you look at kind of the future and things like that, like are there any other villains you want to see in here? Are there any kind of pieces you want to go with that multiverse kind of aspect?
Oh man, I mean, the sky's the limit, really. I mean, if they want to try to pull from the Fox well, they've got basically, as long as they can get the actors to agree to it, there's really no limit to what they can do. And with the formula that they've got set in place, I know Brandon was hoping for more contained stories, but the way they're probably going to look at it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing, and they've kind of,
it ain't broke.
Kind of rolled. Yeah. Marvel ain't broke. That's yeah. But it's, I don't know. I would love, like I said, Doctor Doom. I've always been a huge fan. I might be in the minority, but I personally enjoyed the Fox Fantastic Four movies. And even
maybe they'll throw Doug Ray Scott a bone and let him play Wolverine finally. He missed out because he chose to do Mission Impossible instead. Maybe it's a possibility.
Well, if you're talking about that, the multiverse of madness, there's been rumors with that, just like there have been, No Way Home. There's been talk of Tom Cruise possibly playing Tony Stark, in the multiverse of madness, which would be cool, and some of those other characters. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I don't know what'll happen past these two movies specifically, as far as the multiverse stuff goes. It may kind of disperse after that and go back to more contained stories, but I don't know. I like I said, the sky's the limit with them taking Fox. There's really no limit other than actors. Contractual obligations.
I think if you look at the slate, though, it does seem like some of these stories could be more self-contained. As far as like Thor Love and Thunder seems like it could be more self-contained in terms of the characters instead of like building to this big event. I don't know about Quantum Mania, the Ant-Man movie, but obviously Kang is going to be in that, but as far as like Eternals, like you were talking about earlier with Guardians, Britt, like it probably leading to them getting with other characters that we already know and love. I feel like Eternals is going to be kind of in that vein as well, kind of more on its own, and then maybe eventually have them team up with the other characters down the road. That one is the one I know that I was one of the only ones that was super positive on that trailer when we reviewed it, but I know that Ryan's had a little bit of a change of heart after watching Nomadland, as far as having a little bit more enthusiasm for it.
Have either of y'all seen that movie? Nomadland?
I have not. No.
It's worth watching. It's a very pretty movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see. Yes, I do think that it's going to be more set up than not, but I could see them being able, some of these flicks be able to be a little more contained. So we'll see. Maybe it can be a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Guardians fashion.
And I think it'll be interesting, and as we get into that, and I'm sure future podcasts we'll talk about it too as we start to see more trailers and stuff. But they do look like they're kind of setting up Secret Wars in a sense. If you guys have seen some of the newer Secret Wars storylines, but essentially it's all the multiverses clashing. You have Lady Thor being Natalie Portman's Thor that we're going to see in Love and Thunder. It's where you get Ultimate Spider-Man coming in, which could be a button scene or something like that to Spider-Man. Again, I don't know what the Sony deal looks like as far as who they have and who they don't, if it's everybody in the Spider-Verse or if it was a certain year. Because again, if you look at like Universal's deal with characters compared to what Disney has, it was during that year of who was the big characters. So that's why Disney can make the Guardians ride. So there's a potential where whenever that was made, like Miles Morales may have not actually been part of that deal or something. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting with that.
As far as theme park deals are separate from.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, I mean, you've got
like the animated
Universal
stuff is different.
That has the Marvel rides, different vein. But I just, what I would love. I want to see Spider-Man and Kingpin in a movie together, and I think it is a crime that we have not.
New York
seen that.
Spider-Man, New York Spider-Man.
I know, but because of up until the Fox acquisition, we weren't able to have that. But now it's a possibility, but Sony may be moving on with their Spider-Man, and unless they make some sort of deal again with Disney.
It's a crime. It's a crime that Venom did so well.
Yeah.
So that they would continue it.
I don't know. I think as long as Sony's smart and knows that they can continue dipping into the Marvel well to make a little extra money, I don't know that I see them going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, they're at least going to help in some way, I think, to keep those lines of communication open.
Yes.
And not make the fans mad. Because again, last time they decided the Spider-Man was done with the MCU, you know, the fans had a bunch to say, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're making another movie, so don't worry. But yeah, I think when it comes to multiverse, kind of what you guys are saying too, like there's so many possibilities they can do with it. I do think that we're going to see things like the Internals. One of those trigger points of why they're getting back involved probably has to do with the multiverse coming about. But there's other movies like, Wakanda Forever. Like, how does that fit into that? Are they going to use that to explain why, T'Challa is not there, or it's a different T'Challa? We've got the What If series coming up next month or month after, which will explain even more stuff around the multiverse. So, yeah, I think they're doing good. And kind of going back over to Loki real quick as we kind of start to wrap it up, because I think for the most part we've talked about that final episode and everything. But like, what do you guys think? We had a couple characters like you guys mentioned. We had Mobius come in with Owen Wilson. We had Judge. Is it Rayner? I think Judge. It's not Rayner. Maybe it is.
Let's say Rayner.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Sounds good to me.
And Shaq can correct me and
Judge
tell me I'm
Rayner,
wrong.
Judge Reinhardt.
Yeah,
Judge. I don't know. Renner.
Rams bottom. We go whatever. It starts.
Yeah, we had the Judge kind of in their closing scene, right? So we already talked a little bit about Loki coming back. Now he's in this alternate universe where the new Kang is rising. Essentially, Kang said, like, no matter what you do, I'm going to be back here. So he's going to continue to work on that timeline thing. And in the comics, the same was true. It didn't matter what happened. Every Kang worked towards being Immortus, which is that overarching Kang. So Renslayer, there we go.
Hey.
So we've got so we got that going on. We've got Sylvie. We'll see what kind of happens with her. But we were kind of left over here with Owen Wilson's character and Judge Renslayer kind of going through that portal and figuring that out. What do you guys think in Loki season 2? Do we think that's going to be kind of what we're looking at, or do you think it's going to be more potentially like the Sylvie story? I'm sure it'll be a little mix, but like, what are you guys looking forward to with season 2 when it comes to kind of those two paths?
All I want is for Owen Wilson to end the series on a jet ski. That's all I want.
Living the dream.
What you wanted?
Living the dream.
Yeah, I don't know. I do want to see more of Owen Wilson's character. That was definitely a highlight of the show for me.
Yeah.
Didn't really care about Ravonna Renslayer. I don't know. Just didn't really.
Sounds like a Harry Potter character.
That's what I was fixing to say.
She's like Renslayer, dude.
She's the house. She's the head girl for Ravenclaw. There we go.
Yeah. And so, go ahead.
Everybody just the same, Ryan. We're vibing. The audience is vibing with me right now.
Yeah.
Brandon doesn't like it.
It's okay.
No, but Owen Wilson's character I want to see more of. I'm not as big of a. I don't think I'm as big of a Sylvie fan as most people are. I definitely did not like her in her early episodes. The last 2 episodes I enjoyed her more. But yeah.
You know what you are?
What?
You're difficult. Really difficult.
You-
You're a difficult man.
That's for you.
That's for Al. That's what that's for.
It's for you today. Because you're difficult.
Yeah. No, I think, and again, a little backstory, comic fact there. Judge Renslayer in the comics is actually a wife of one of the Kang's variants. So don't know if it's this timeline, different timeline, but they do work together in some of one of the story arcs. But so we'll go around with this question since both of you guys kind of said you really like Mobius and stuff. But which Loki was your favorite Loki in the series? Since Ryan doesn't like Sylvie and he wished she wasn't even on the show, what Loki was your favorite and you want to see more of in the future? Even if they probably won't be there, but if they were, what would be the one you want to see come back?
Me, or are you asking others first this time?
Yeah, just we'll start with Brandon. What was your favorite Loki?
I mean, other than Hiddleston, because I mean, he's my favorite. If I'm going to be honest, I would probably say the Richard E. Grant old Loki. I just thought he was great.
Same.
So that would be
same.
my choice.
How about you, Alan? Different answer, same answer.
Do
you like Gator Loki?
Sylvie. Sylvie was my favorite. Screw you, Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm just playing. I really didn't. She was my least favorite of the bunch as well. But
are you sorry? I didn't want to. Sorry.
I didn't want to jump. I didn't want to jump on the classic Loki bandwagon like everybody else. But that's where I'm at as well. He was my favorite.
Yeah.
I love when he was using the magic and he pretty much made that whole thing of, hey, the magic is better than the sword, essentially. So I was hoping to see something with the worthy Loki. So the one that actually has Mjolnir, like in his universe. Like I was hoping to see more of him, but then the fact that he just like kind of ratted out the other ones, which means he shouldn't be worthy, so he shouldn't get the hammer. Like
he should have never had the hammer anyway.
So, and we talked about it earlier. The Throg scene that got cut, like
and Captain America shouldn't be able to throw a shield into a tree when he's not superpowered. It's flexible. It's all flexible.
The multiverse.
It is. Actually, kind of on that as we wrap up here and then head towards Black Widow, but. I keep seeing this article, and I don't know why it's popping up everywhere, where people are getting mad that Captain America broke the rules of Thor's hammer and he could control lightning in Endgame.
I'll be honest with you, Britt. This sounds like an article that would be tailored very heavily to you in search.
It is.
I'm not surprised.
I've seen it like 4 times from 4 different outlets pop up, and it's kind of annoying. It's annoying because. The whole thing about this is whoever holds the hammer gets the powers of Thor. Thor has the powers of lightning. Yeah. So he has the power of lightning. But anyway, people don't know that. They're like, shouldn't be able to do it.
It's like Odin said, are you the god of hammers?
Well, Thor also got incapacitated by lightning in Ragnarok, essentially, when he got tasered. So I mean, come on.
It's true.
We're talking about canon and rules. You
got to follow them. Which kind of going on that a little bit with rules. There was an article that came out where Kevin Feige did just have a meeting with all the different directors to explain the rules of the multiverse. So hopefully,
we need a since we have our Always Sunny drops, we need a what are the rules drop.
What are the rules?
What are the rules?
Yeah, and let's see. Mackey's saying he thinks he'll bring back young Loki for the Young Avengers. Eventually, originally, and you guys may have talked about it. I know we've chatted about it a little bit in text, but originally in the Young Avengers, you had Sylvie being one of the Young Avengers. But I think you could be right with young Loki coming back. It is.
That was a shameless plug, Britt.
Yeah. With all my what are they called? The writing names. I'm bad with this, guys.
Pen names.
Yeah, pen names. I have like
Brandon's
5 pen names.
that one. I got that word
everywhere.
Yeah, I know. So
kind of going into, I guess, Black Widow. Unless you guys have any other final thoughts on Loki. Again, it sounded like everybody liked it. They enjoyed it. They want a season 2.
Yep.
So
I was surprised because when we even talked about this, I think last week, Alan and Chris and myself, really didn't expect a season 2 to happen. Just figured this was going to be a one-off.
Yeah.
So I was even like, having an actual end credits scene that said that there was a season 2 was shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, a press release, that's pretty normal that they're working on season 2, but to have it actually on the finale was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, especially because we haven't seen that in the other 2 series, right? Like the other 2 series, we've had rumors there could be, Falcon Winter Soldier, more stuff coming there. I guess now it's Captain America Winter Soldier.
Why?
So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be interesting what they want to do with it. There's a lot of loose ends there, and then there's most likely a lot of movies in between the release of it. So. So we'll see.
It is kind of right in their playbook, though. They don't like to permanently write off characters. So this is a way for them to still play with Loki, even though he's
or actors. I mean, the thing is, like, Tom Hiddleston brings in a whole giant crowd of a lot of women and girls and things to the MCU, but also Brandon to the MCU.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely one of those where there a lot of characters don't die, and in all these universes, they tend to not stay dead. So we'll see.
Don't bring back Tony Stark. At least not the Downey version.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Leave it be.
I agree.
I think that there's a lot of these movies where we're seeing the transition, and I just hope they continue with it. Like, I agree with you. All these OG characters, their stories need to kind of end, and we need to pick up. And the other side of that, I don't want to see, and this is actually a good segue into Black Widow, but I don't want to see just a copy of them, right? Like, I don't want to see, okay, we're going to get rid of Hulk, but She-Hulk's going to be here. We're going to get rid of Captain America, but now Falcon Captain America's here. Like, give us different characters. Like, give us something different with the way they do it. And with Black Widow, you kind of had the same thing there.
Multiverse, Bucky's Captain America. It's great. It's a good idea. Yeah.
Let's see it. You want to see the Council of Captain Americas, where it's like 7 or 8 different ones, but the most important one is Winter Soldier, Bucky with the shield. So with Black Widow, I'm curious. I don't think you've seen it yet, right?
No,
Ryan or Alan, have you guys seen it yet?
Brit, this weekend, so it was Saturday afternoon. I was like, you know what? Brit's going to be on the show. I don't have anything to do. So I was like, I'm going to ask my wife, Katie, you want to go to the movies and see Black Widow? And then I just carried on living my life, and I didn't see it.
I was going to say, hopefully it was cheaper than the $29.99. How about you, Alan?
I'm not gonna lie. Normally, I don't let other people's opinions or critic reviews sway me in any way, but it seriously poo-pooed on my Black Widow parade, and I did not go see it. I had full intentions of seeing it, and I'm not lying. Like in our group text, like everybody just kind of crapped all over it. So I was like, I'm not going. Even you, Brett, I was like, I'm not going to go see this. If we can't get behind it, I'm not going to see it.
I got that text from Brett, and I laughed out loud. It was awesome.
Like I said, go watch it. But Wolverine expectations.
Yeah.
You were the straw, though. You were the one. Like, I'm used to a little negativity.
Alan's like, no, it's gonna be fine. Taskmaster.
And then Brett's like, go in there with X-Men Origins Wolverine expectations, and I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be terrible. So I didn't see it, but go ahead, spoil away. I'm fine with that.
Do you want to do, Britt? Do you want to do like a little like non-spoiler review, and then
we'll do a non-spoiler, and then we'll do major spoilers afterwards. But so non-spoiler with that. So anybody who hasn't seen it, you can kind of listen to this. I would definitely say if you're going to watch it, go in with no expectations or low expectations. It's one of those where I know everybody wanted a Black Widow movie, but I would have actually preferred this to be a TV show. So I know, Ryan, you mentioned you want a lot of these TV shows to be movies. I would have loved this to have been a TV show, where they got to get a little deeper, because what I felt like was this movie was trying to explain a lot of stuff, and rather than really explaining it, they kind of just like touched on it. And they made fun of Black Widow a little bit too much.
You do look like David Ayer.
Hey, Alan, can you say F Marvel for us real quick? I just want to see if there's.
Somebody got a finger on the dump button, or am I just saying F? Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. Al will kill us.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think Al likes me. I don't want to screw that up.
But yeah, so like, no, you're good. You're good. So, but yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is it wanted to explain a lot. It didn't really have the time to explain a lot. And so what I got from it was a lot of making fun of Black Widow, and we'll get into those when we actually get into kind of some of the spoilers. But my expectations were low, but they were still wrong. I really loved Winter Soldier, and that's what I was wanting. I was wanting that intense, like, spy movie, right? Give us Jason Bourne, give us something like that. And we just got another Marvel blockbuster movie. And so I think when they went down that route, it's like, it didn't give me what I wanted from the movie. It didn't really have that feel. And we'll definitely get into spoilers, because I think that's kind of the part where there was a lot of things that happened in the movie that just weren't what they needed to be. So the twists and turns weren't there. So
you want to do that?
Yeah, that's my non-spoiler one. Again, go in with no expectations. You'll probably like it. If you're a huge Black Widow fan, you may enjoy it. But I was definitely kind of.
Is there anyone that's a huge Black Widow fan?
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe people who are huge Captain Marvel fans.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that would be a good movie to equate it to, right? Like Captain Marvel is kind of the same way. You can live without watching it. So,
well, I've lived a long time.
David List texted me before he went and saw Infinity Wars, and he said, "Do I need to see Captain Marvel before I see Infinity?" I was like, "Nope, just go on ahead and forget that one happened."
Nobody needs to see Captain Marvel.
Just know there's a thing called the Tesseract, which you've seen in other movies. No, you're good.
In every movie.
Yeah. She flies around in space. That's all you need to know. She's strong. Which hopefully, I saw
we'll see. Endgame, and that was enough.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to her, but there's a potential she may be killed off and or lose all her powers in one of these future movies. So we shall see. If you don't know the canon around that.
I'm open to the idea.
Yeah.
You have piqued my interest. I will watch the next Captain Marvel movie now.
We'll have to see. But if they want to introduce the mutants, that's how Rogue gets her powers. She pretty much kills Captain Marvel, takes all her powers. And that's how Rogue has the same powers as Captain Marvel. So, yeah. So,
like that. I like some of that.
So yeah, if you want to throw up, Ryan, I guess the spoiler thing again.
I got you, bro.
Brandon, whoever.
I was about to click it, bro.
Oh, you want to do it, Ryan? You know what?
Spoilers.
All right. So we'll get into the big spoilers here. Yeah. So reason being, and this may ruin some of the movie for you guys, but yeah, it's there's so much unrealistic stuff in this movie, and I know saying that in kind of any superhero movie is kind of like whatever, but like the fact that Black Widow falls like 6 stories, hitting everything on the way down, and then stands up and walks away. She's not super powered. There's a whole scene with a car where they're in the car, and if you guys remember Winter Soldier, right? Bucky shoots the disc underneath the car, blows up the car. It flips on its, just flips upside down. Well, think of that, but the car flips upside down, slides down the road, hits 10 other cars, goes down a subway like stairs thing, lands on the top of it, and they both get out, and the sister just has a little cut on her arm. So it's like to that level. So it's to that level as you're going through. Every scene feels like that, over the top.
How was the execution on the action?
So I think the action scenes.
I saw somebody posted a video. I sent it to Ryan, and it was like the Florence Pugh character was like on something, and she's like, "This was fun," and then she like blows up the thing, and
Brandon sent me this. It was like the best clip ever.
And then awesome. You've got Scarlett Johansson like trying to act like she's emotionally like so distraught from this moment, and she just, oh man,
yeah, it's kind of kin back to what you've seen in a lot of the Black Widow kind of scenes in the other movies. The action's okay. I feel like there's scenes that stand out that are great, but at the same time, like most of it just feels like, well, why didn't you do that? Well, why didn't you just do this type situation when they come to the fight scenes and stuff? Her whole.
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll ask it later.
Well, and then the other part that like bothers me is with Black Widow. Everybody's made fun of her fighting styles, right? Like the fact that she does these poses and different things like that, like they've over sexualized her character throughout the whole thing. And so this whole time you just have the sister making fun of all that. Like she calls her a poser, referencing the fact that she is always posing every time she lands and things like that. She makes a joke about the Red Room and how they, have hysterectomies and all of that to like make it to where they don't have those types of feelings and whatnot in the real world. So there's a lot of that where they're just like joking and picking fun of her backstory. And so I feel like if you're going to make this movie about Black Widow and you're going to talk about the Red Room, you're going to talk about her backstory, like I don't understand why there's so many jokes about her character when this should be like the movie that uplifts her and everybody is like, oh yes, this is the great movie that makes Black Widow a better character. So, yeah.
So, how was my boy David Harbour in this movie? Was he at least good?
He was good. I enjoyed his character. If you don't know, again, kind of going back in there, he's essentially Russia's Captain America. There's a cool reveal part of that kind of in the front of the movie. Again, in the front of the movie, they are Russian spies as this, what you find out, fake family that's there. So they're all placed trying to steal data from the US. And on this big reveal, as they're running and escaping S.H.I.E.L.D., it looks like cops and stuff, but eventually the car turns. You can see the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo back in the day. He like picks something up and like throws it out. And it's like a huge, he shouldn't be able to lift this type thing. And that's kind of the reveal of, okay, he's got superpowers and he's doing his thing. And he brings some comedy, which is cool. But again, the hard part is they tried to stuff a lot of comedy in here. They tried to stuff a lot of that, what we're expecting from Marvel movies, when in reality it's a spy drama. Like I really wanted that Winter Soldier. I really wanted some kind of Bourne type movie around it. And I think it would have been much better. So it's more of like a joking sense, especially from his character. So,
yeah,
but
well, that's too bad.
Yeah. So no, go ahead.
Well, I guess. How did you feel about the Taskmaster
reveal,
or
just the Taskmaster
subverting? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I said this on a podcast. It's going to end up being a girl.
Yeah,
that was right.
Yeah. So there's a couple pieces.
Head syndrome on that one screen or screenshot that was floating around is hilarious.
Yeah,
this tiny neck going this huge.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's so like the Taskmaster, I think, was the thing I was the most excited about going into this movie, not knowing all the different pieces, and I was wanting it. Yeah, and like because the Taskmaster is a dude in the comics, and the whole thing is like he mimics what he sees, and so it's hard to fight against him. So it's hard to fight against him because in the moment he can figure out how you're doing it, and then you have to now change your style. So the thing is, when it comes to this, it's done differently. The Taskmaster is, so again, huge spoiler here, but the Taskmaster is the daughter of the main villain guy. So we learn about, and this kind of goes back to, I really wish they spent more time giving me more backstory. They go back to this whole.
That guy is what, Ray Winston is the guy that's playing the
yeah,
the actor's name, Ray Winston.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in this movie until. Here's the thing, Britt. I've listened to so many spoiler reviews of Black Widow because I do not care at this point, and I couldn't tell you what happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's not very great, and it's not like the story is not very and it's not like it's not intriguing. It doesn't really bring you into it because they really brush over this whole Budapest thing. So again, we've heard Hawkeye and Black Widow talk about Budapest, like, hey, it happened here and things like that.
Remember Budapest very differently.
Yeah. So like essentially what happened in this, and they touch on it for two minutes in the movie, is she somehow, and she didn't describe this, she uses his daughter to know that when she gets dropped off in this building, because she's being dropped off there, he's going to be there. And he's the one behind all of the Red Room. So Hawkeye puts explosives there and they blow up the building. And essentially she's watching it and he says, "Are you sure?" And she says, "Yes, blow it up." So she like intentionally killed a little girl in order to get to her dad. And spoilers, they don't die. Either of them don't die, but she is like fully messed up. And so she's in this suit, and that's what the suit is. The suit is essentially keeping her alive, like a Darth Vader type thing. It shows that the way she learns the moves is they have like a jump drive they stick in her neck that downloads all these moves to her suit and her body. And like the thing that I wish, and the thing that I wish was, I wish they would have gotten a little deeper into that, because all you see is her watching a video of, I think it's the airport battle scene that she's watching. So there's like, you can kind of make it Black Panther.
How the heck she get how did we get a video of that? That's kind of what I'm.
Technically, there is a video.
It's called Civil War.
There we go. Everybody has that video. There we go.
But there is the video, because there's a video of that Peter Parker has where he's rounding up Ant-Man. So you see different things throughout the movie where she kicks the shield up on her arm like Captain America. She does her hands in the claws like Black Panther, but they don't really. It's like they're little nods, but like I really wanted to know more about those pieces before they came up. So they've continued to build on the suit to mimic all these different powers and all these different superheroes, but it was just kind of like a letdown in a sense of like, she's not in there very often. And the couple fights, it's like she's not even really fighting. She's just trying to get this suitcase of vials that essentially brain wipes the Black Widows. So there is kind of this whole thing where they have this virus they inject in the Black Widows, which makes them not like fully mind controlled so that they can do anything. And so there's this serum that can knock them out. And that's what the whole movie is about, is getting the Black Widows out of this mind control and freeing them and taking down the Red Room. So it just, I don't know, it needed more detail in it. But at the same time, to be honest, I didn't need a Black Widow movie. Like, if again, give me Jason Bourne with some really crazy stuff there, that'd be cool. But if you're not going to do that, it wasn't needed. It didn't do anything to move along anything. It didn't really describe where she's been in between Civil War and Infinity War when she frees everybody. So I don't know.
I've kind of said before that this year is like the year of Marvel movies and shows that I don't care, characters that I don't care about. And the other side of it is, I think if everything would have released when it was supposed to, so COVID has really put us in a bad spot with all the movies, DC, Marvel, and everything. But like, I think if everything would have released when it was supposed to release, it would have been fine, because we would have had Black Widow followed by like another movie, and the Disney Plus shows and all of that, to where you kind of like could have watched it and not had to sit on it. And now we're like having to sit on it like, okay, we've got Eternals at some point. And especially the people that aren't going to pay for it right now, right? You're going to have to wait like 3 months
and then potentially watch it then. But I don't know. It wasn't needed.
We got some breaking news in the CAPECAST world. Somebody asked earlier about Alan looking like David Ayer. Apparently,
I'm not gonna say that I'm David Ayer, but you've never seen us in the same room together.
Yeah.
I didn't know you went to Comic-Con, Alan.
Okay. Yeah.
You're holding out on us. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like you guys are giving David a little more credit than he deserves. I'm just going to throw that out there. Look, I'm far better looking than that guy, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there.
No,
sorry.
So,
I know you were on a roll there, Britt.
No, you're good. I mean,
Black Widow wasn't great. Continue.
It's one of when I look at the movies, it's maybe not the worst Disney movie or the Marvel movie, but it's definitely in the bottom 5 for me, bottom 3 potentially.
What's your bottom? I'm just curious. What's your least liked Marvel movie?
I didn't really like Thor: Dark World. I know there's pieces of it I liked, but overall the whole thing wasn't a huge fan. Age of Ultron is very similar. There's pieces of it I like, but I just didn't like a lot. And then Black Widow's down there with it.
Gotcha.
I feel like a lot of them I've found pieces that I like enough to say they're not in the bottom, but even Thor 1, I'm not a huge fan. Like I like Thor Ragnarok, but like the first 2, they're always towards the bottom of the list.
Yeah. I agree.
But
yeah.
So to kind of like wrap it up in that the last 2 scenes that I kind of had a problem with is the ending credit scenes. So not the after the credit scene. That's again just setting up more. So we did see Val from Falcon Winter Soldier show up on the end credit scene, building a team. So essentially, Dark Avengers is what she's working on, which we already saw with U.S. Agent. But the other part was at the end of the movie, all the Black Widows get into a jet and they fly away, and Black Widow, so Natasha's standing there going, I'll take care of this. And it's Ross and a whole bunch of trucks coming up, and then it like cuts. And I'm like, okay, so if this is before Infinity War, like what is she making a deal to get like Steve Rogers and Ant-Man and all of them out? And then you get the mid-credit scene, and it's her with this guy who's helped her throughout the movie, like get her fake IDs and things like that, getting her a Quinjet. And she's like, yeah, I've got 2 families now. I've got this new family and I've got the Avengers. I'm going to go break out my other family. So you're left with this. What did she say to Ross? And then she's still going to the raft to break out all the people for the next movie. So it's like, it's this weird, like they clash, and I don't know why they did that. So there's just a bunch of stuff I wish was a little different.
How hard was it for you to send that text message to the group? That's what I want to know.
It was rough. It was rough.
I'm here for tonight.
I believe you. and I don't know if it's me just a little cynical this year, because I know that I've watched a lot of movies this year, and there's things.
Whoa, this is cynical, Britt.
Yes, it is. It is.
What is not cynical, Britt?
So I don't know. Like there's little things I haven't liked about a lot of the series this year. I've tried to keep an open mind on some stuff, but like Black Widow was probably one of the movies I was hoping would be okay. I didn't have high expectations because it had been delayed so many times. That's never a good sign. And they can use the guise of I wanted to go to theaters, but if that was the case, they would have done it with Mulan and with Cruella, right? Like they would have released them or kept pushing those back. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it should have been released a year ago, a year and a half ago. It changed 4 different dates. And they didn't, I doubt they changed anything, reshoots and stuff. So
should have been released like 5 years ago.
On a scale of Infinity War, on a scale of Falcon and Winter Soldier to Infinity War, where do you put this at? Like where are we at?
You know what? I probably liked Falcon Winter Soldier more,
Holy
than
crap.
this movie.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely not seeing that. So, all right. Cool.
Now, I liked Winter Soldier a little more than Ryan did, because I was fine with Falcon
You liked it
becoming
a lot more
Captain
than I did.
America.
And I was as well.
But-
I was as well. That didn't bother me as bad.
But it's definitely down there really low when it comes to the movies. And if it was a TV show, maybe my expectations would have been lowered even more and been okay. They would have more time to explain some stuff, do more setup with Taskmaster. Like again, Taskmaster just kind of comes out of nowhere, but she's not in the movie long. So it's kind of one of those like.
Well, definitely not seeing it now. Sorry. That
Yeah.
was it. That was the only reason I wanted to watch it anyway. Taskmaster was it anyway.
Taskmaster.
It's kind of like oh man, why am I drawing a blank?
The good news is
DC's Deadpool. I'm going to say this. Brandon's going to take it offensive.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. So it's like when Deathstroke was in all of the Affleck pictures before Batman vs Superman came out, and then or was it Justice League? Justice League came out. So it was like when he was in all those promo pictures and then like literally didn't show up except for the little after the credit scene. Like it's kind of that where you're just like, oh man, that's an awesome character. And I could see that being awesome, him versus Batman and having some really cool scenes. And then you get to the movie, it's like, oh, where'd it go? Like, and that's kind of what Taskmaster felt like. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Interesting.
It's got, well, it may have been terrible, Britt, but it's got an 81% and it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So congratulations. You get another sticker.
Yeah.
Your
down.
bottom 5 Marvel movie still gets a sticker. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. And so in
Really
the chat,
happy for you.
in the chat, they make a good comparison. Taskmaster's like Deadpool and Wolverine. So in Origins Wolverine, the Deadpool we got is equates really great with the Taskmaster we got there. As far as some of these other ones, as I'm looking back and seeing Dark Adventures, the setup for Hawkeye. Yes, the after the credit scene sets up the Hawkeye series. So you have this whole thing of, hey, do you want to know who's responsible for the death of your sister? If you guys haven't seen the scene, it's on YouTube. But essentially, it's Val showing her a picture of Hawkeye, saying that's who killed your sister. You need to go take him out. And so I don't think Dark Avengers will be in the MCU. I think you'll get Young Avengers and Dark Avengers being kind of the Disney Plus series. I think in the MCU, we're going the whole route of Kang and all of that. I just don't foresee them taking a small team like the Dark Avengers with the people who are already being introduced.
Consider Disney Plus MCU? I mean,
it is. It's MCU. It is connected, but it's like, I guess I should say movieverse compared to show.
I think
right?
they're all gonna mix mash together. They can't resist it.
I mean, they will. They will, but like, could you see? So we know that most likely Clint Barton's going to go away. His daughter's going to become the new Hawkeye, right? So, do you expect her to be at the same level as some of the characters we're seeing in the movies? And I don't think so.
Bishop was going to be the new Hawkeye.
Yes,
isn't that's not his daughter though, right?
Yeah, it is. I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
So
now you're asking me in.
Yeah, they're going to change.
Yes, they did. She's older.
I do not approve.
Yeah, so it
was a different person.
Yeah.
No,
so it's one of those where like I don't expect, just like with Young Avengers, right? You may have a little bit of at some point some crossover when we get in the multiverse stuff, but I don't see them being at the same level as your Fantastic Four, your Black Panther, the stuff they're setting up in the movies. I don't think you'll get as much crossover.
She's pretty popular these days.
Yeah,
what's her name? Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
I like that Bumblebee movie she was in. Sorry. I just figured I'd throw that out there. Sorry. I don't know anything else she's been in but that. So there we go.
True Grit.
Oh yeah, Damon. Yeah. That guy.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
Damon.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I was not opposed to the character change for Taskmaster. Reactions and reviews 21. The whole Tony Masters, that name has bothered me since I was a kid. Like I've never liked that name. It just, I'm like, how creative can you be coming up with your villain alter ego, Taskmaster, aka Tony Masters? It just didn't. It just never.
Edward Nigma, the Riddler.
There you go. Hey,
Enigma. Yeah.
Edward Nigma.
And that's the thing, right? Like I don't think it necessarily bothered me as much that they went from guy to girl. I mean, we're seeing that in so many different characters, but I think what bothered me is they just didn't give her a good backstory. It's like, hey, you didn't kill me, and now I'm gonna kill you. And the fact that I don't know, she just kind of shows up and is like, hey, she knows all these moves. You're not gonna be able to take her down, and she's done. Like, I don't know. There's a couple scenes where he's like, yeah, it's programmed in the back of her neck. We put this in the back of her neck. I think he says back of your neck like 4 times. And literally she does not, like, I was expecting like Natasha to kick her in the back of the neck or something to disable her. And that didn't happen. So like, I don't know, it's little things like that. If you watch it, again, maybe we'll see the character later. She's technically still out in the universe or whatever. And maybe with that, we'll see something cool, but yeah, they just they didn't use her, kind of like Crossbones in a way. Like I feel like Crossbones was never really used in Captain America. So yeah,
they can't all be big bads.
Yeah, I don't want to. I know that that's a lot of negativity. Definitely, if you want to watch it. I would not say it's worth $30 to go watch. It would be my opinion. It's so like the $29.99 on Disney Plus.
It's great.
Yeah. If you can find it on a Plex server or a friend, go check it out over at Brandon's.
Wait, you're condoning piracy?
No, I'm just saying if your friend has bought it and you want to go watch it with your friend,
not him,
or has gotten it,
yeah, and their friend's friend. And
we here at CiNEMACHiNE do not support piracy. I just want to say that up front.
I'm saying if you got a friend who has it,
and we have zero tolerance for it,
like Chris. Chris is a pirate.
Then you're good. But yeah, that's my spoiler review of Black Widow.
Britt, I hope the next Marvel movie we review I can participate in.
Same.
We got Eternals. We got Eternals.
You did good though.
Yeah.
I feel like
you did great.
I feel like out of the reviews that I've listened to, I made more sense of yours.
Yeah.
So
if I would have actually had all my notes down too, I could have maybe followed a path, but I hit all the points.
It was great. We don't really do it. Yeah, this is
we appreciate that. Fluid, thought. Yeah. Appreciate
you. Definitely. I mean, you did good. You definitely discouraged me. I'm not watching that movie. So there we go. No, in 2 months it'll be free. So I'll watch it on Disney Plus then. So there we go.
And reaction and reviews kind of makes a point, which I think is ridiculous. Like that Marvel can do this for the most part outside of Spider-Man because it's Sony. But the fact that they can keep these things like Taskmaster actually being a girl a secret, there was some screenshots that you could maybe guess or whatever, but the fact that they could do all these things is pretty crazy compared to all these other movies where things are like Spider-Man, for instance, has been spoiled countless times, and we don't even have a first trailer and we practically know, or we can guess most of the movie. So
you did your job, Britt. No one wants to see it. Suck it, Mickey Mouse.
There goes my sponsorship. Yeah. Disney's not sponsoring me no more.
That's all right. It's on our channel. They'll never find it.
Yeah, that's true. Your secret's safe with us.
Yeah, we do have Shang-Chi coming up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. We got Shang-Chi, the trailer you guys were talking about before too. Like the trailer, Wong versus Abomination, that kind of stuff. Insane. We got Eternals. We got What If. What If is probably the thing I'm the most excited about, to be honest. Upcoming. So
yeah. I'd say out of the next 3, Suicide Squad, and that's not because I'm partial. We'll see, but I'm just more
I'll watch
interested
it.
in that than
I'll watch it.
It's not that we're partial to DC; it's that we're just more interested in that.
Yeah.
It's just the
Now,
There we go.
now, are you watching that? So I think you mentioned this, but you're going to the cinema to see that, Brandon, instead of HBO Max, or
no.
I'm just excited to see it, but not enough to go to the theater.
I'm gonna watch it.
Got a
I mean,
so
I'm gonna watch that one at home. Ryan, are you going to the theater to see it?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I think we are. I think we are.
If it wants Alan, you want to come watch Suicide Squad at the house? You're welcome to.
F yeah, man.
Britt, if you want to drive up from Florida, you're also welcome to.
Yeah.
Britt, if you want to
Sorry.
drive up from Florida and then not drive the rest of the way to Brandon's house, you can just watch the main theater.
That'd be a good plan too. Both are solid options.
But the theater won't pause it when you have to pee. So that's something Brandon's got going there. I will say.
That's true.
True. Yeah. True.
Yep. That is true.
Reaction reviews is all about some snake eyes.
Yes.
It looks solid. So
I'm just not a huge Henry Golding fan. I don't know why. I do know why. Crazy Rich Asians, because of my wife. Yeah. That's exactly why I'm not a Henry Golding fan.
Yep. Could have told you that one. But yeah. Well, Britt, again, thank you. That was great. I mean, it wasn't, but thank you for doing it.
It was merciless.
We don't have to.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, you took the bullet.
The next one, we'll watch the movie. We promise.
Yeah. I know many times I got on here for Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, I didn't watch it yet. We'll see. You talk about it.
Once. That was once.
And then we stopped reviewing it because Brandon just kind of, it's like, I'm not going to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched the beginning of the last episode and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn this off. Do something else.
Honey, where's BVS?
You didn't hear his amazing speech. He should have got the Emmy nomination for with his new, instead Don Cheadle got it. So
yeah. Too bad. Maybe next time.
Would that be crazy if when they're showing the clips for their nominations and it's Captain America's speech at the end for Don Cheadle?
They use that Disney technology and change his face to Don Cheadle.
Well, with the goggles, you can't tell who's in it. That's the point of the goggles. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Well,
alrighty. Time to wrap this bad boy up. We're at 2 hours and 12 minutes. A long night.
Indeed. But I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. Thank you guys for jumping on. Thanks everybody that
Britt, hope we
tuned
can get
in,
you on here more often,
commented.
man. Another one on Tuesdays.
We moved to Tuesdays just for the possibility of getting you on in the future. So
yeah.
Don't let us down.
Truth.
Oh yeah. I'll try to sneak around on some nights to be able to jump on. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see. I'll talk to the wife.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Or just take a stand. I mean,
don't whip out, It's fine. We won't judge you much.
Ryan, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Why don't you put the graphic up?
Hey.
Oh, there it is. Yes, you can find us on Twitter at CapeCast Show. On YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And just stay up to date on all the stuff we've got going on Twitch. We're still figuring it out. Britt's showing us the ropes, but give us a subscribe on there. And if you want to see our ugly mugs and David Ayer every week. And we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/CiNEMACHiNE and CiNEMACHiNE Pod. And we appreciate all the support we get there. Gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
Without further ado, I guess it is time that we say goodbye until next week.
All right. # release the haircut. There we go.